Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. We're getting going a little bit quickly at the moment. I was watching the WRC. First stage of Rally Sweden was on. So I was watching that and I just gone to the server a minute and a half before practice is finished. So welcome Geeky. We'll switch over to the game in 1 second. There we go. Sorry if there's any frame drops. Yeah, I'm seeing quite a few dropped frames, unfortunately. Don't know why. So apologies if you are noticing that. Looks like we've got 16 people in for today. At quite a wet Paul Ricard. We've got 60% rain intensity showing. And now ticked over to qualifying session. We'll just give it a minute for people to head out. Make sure we got a bit of clear track. Oh, well, that's good. We'll not question it. Yeah, I will try not to think. Right, we'll get going here. Get our wiper on, get the rain light on, and head out for this qualifying session. So yes, we've quite a wet Paul Ricard, which is hopefully going to be good for us. The rain usually treats us well, so this could be a good opportunity. I think we've finished 10th in the first 2 rounds of this series so far, so hopefully we can break a little further into that top 10. I know we were kind of on course for that at Bathurst, but we got a little bit unfortunate with a collision. So yeah, hopefully, although with rain, it could be just as easy really to have an instant. Visibility is going to be low, even if we're in I was going to say broad daylight this time. It's not quite broad daylight, it is quite cloudy over the track. Not a lot of sun poking out, but it's still much brighter than it was at Bathurst last week. But of course, with the rain, we are going to have to contend with the spray. I also think of Have I set my tire pressures up wrong? I might have. Because they're way up in the 31s. think I'll do a banker lap and then I'll maybe come in and check. A good thing with there not being too many people around is there's plenty of space on track. You can see everyone's nice and spread out around the track. I'll just check the tire pressures then. That's preset. Yeah. That's what I had for my practice. Maybe it's some glitch, because technically I didn't actually have a wet tire selected. Maybe that was causing a glitch. I definitely wasn't on dry tires. That's actually really weird. I'm just gonna let these two cars go because pit exit comes. Right onto the racing line. I should reduce the fuel as well while I was at it, but too late now. Just want to try and make sure we get a few laps on the board. Yeah, it said wet, but you know, you clearly seen when I went into the setup there, the tire said dry. And the pressures weren't correct. Create a little more space because it seems like we were catching that 777.
Yellow flag is sector 1. Yellow flag on Charlie front.
So just give ourselves a nice gap just to make sure we don't catch anyone. So we should have 4 flying laps here. Yeah, it could be a glitch. Or maybe it's a game thing of... because it's clearly wet, maybe it automatically put me on wets. Because It looked like it might have been the wet preset pressures that were on the tires. So maybe it accidentally loaded me onto that instead of the aggressive preset. That had then altered. I'm not sure.
Yellow flag accepted.
I will say KTM feels very nice in the rain. Nicely well balanced.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
2 minute 2.0. Currently puts us P10. As you can see, we're already finding quarter of a second so far this lap. But we have lost 10th and a half coming onto the Mistral. Not as good of a run onto the Mistral this time, so gonna be about even by the time we the rear end is moving around a slight little bit, but I actually quite like how the rear end's moving around, to be honest. I feel like I get good rotation through the final part of that double right-hander. A little bit deep through that tightening left. Managed to lose all that time in the final couple of corners. But we know the time is there. 2 seconds off, blimey. Tires are a little overpressured, but not that much. Not by that much. Just about keeping it within track limits there.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Better run onto the Mistral than we had last lap. Managing to sort of keep that 2/10 advantage we have on the Delta. As you can see, we've already closed into about 5 seconds behind the 777, so good thing we built that gap before we started this run. We'll have one more lap after this. Careful not to run in deep, because if you get on that blue paint, it just drags you off the circuit in the rain. Little out of position for the second apex of that double right-hander. Still just not losing a bit of time through that tightening left-hander. managing to hold a 3.5 tenth advantage through the final corner.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
Be good enough for any push further up the grid. Using all of the track out of turn 2.
Yellow flag is centre line.
Tried a little bit of a wider line through that long right-hander. Didn't really seem to gain us anything. Might be difficult to get ourselves back into the top 10, but only need about half a tenth to get back into 11th.
Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Getting very close to that outer edge of the track. Once again, just mispositioning myself. Currently on for P11. Just gotta make sure we don't lose the time in the final couple of corners here. Which I might have done.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out. Session is now over.
No, 2 tenths off. Oh well, give it a go. Seems like we're in a little bit of, apart from the 5-2-1, seems like we're in a little bit of no man's land. See, yeah, I dropped half tenth. Could have had it there. If I didn't lose that time in the final sector. No, I had it definitely did have though a bit more time in it too, but I don't think we've been enough to get in the top 10. One thing is the track is definitely a little bit drier than I was expecting it to be. I think I can confidently take 0.3 off all the tires. There's confirmation of the final quali results.
Right, we have some wet conditions. Remember that comes as slippery and watch your braking distance.
Right, so we have a 45-minute race still. Don't know what I'm doing there. 45 times 60, 270. We'll say 2-minute times. 5 by 120, she gets 20.5. So 23 times we're using 3.2. So 77. Let's go 80 litres just to be safe, because with rain, especially when the track's dries out a little bit, you can end up using more fuel than you anticipate. So generally, as the track gets slightly drier, it gets slightly faster, and as it gets slightly faster, you use a little bit more fuel. Just wait another 90 seconds till start.
30 seconds.
Thank you,
20
Robot.
seconds.
Welcome along if you're staying.
10 seconds.
Hopefully everyone remembers to turn their
Go in single file.
remembers to turn their rain light on. Yeah, I've been putting off an optician's appointment for a while now. Let's just say, for a while now. So just get a little bit more pressure in our tires. Of course, wet tires don't need as much heat as the slicks would. We can see there about 1 psi under the normal pressure. It'll be difficult to get the left-hand sides up to pressure. The 3 right-handers at the start of this third sector have a big say in the tire temperature. You kind of see it, you know, as you go down the Mistrals, tire temp or tire pressures, I should really say, do get a little low, and then you go through those 3 right-handers, and then they go up by like 0.8 psi. Quite a big fluctuation. Just try to carry a little more speed through that right-hander. Just try and get some bit more pressure in.
Stay in double file.
Tires. Now thankfully, now that we're going in double file, we can push a little more through. Thankfully that mark ahead of us has turned the rain light on. Good to see. Because we do need it to see. You can see with that, just that little bit of pushing, nearly got the tires up to their pressure. Welcome, Molly. We're just coming up to the start here for a 45-minute sprint here in the rain.
Green light. Give it all okay.
And away we go.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
That was brave. But it worked out. We were 4 wide going through into turn 1.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Absolutely sent it on the number up there. One for the 107 mark out wide onto the Mistral. We've made up 4 places. That's a really good start. Do you have this number 8 Maserati still right behind us? They'll be in the slipstream. I'm going to take a defensive line. Couple of people running a little bit on the wider side through this double right-hander. A little bit of a nudge between KTM and Mercedes ahead. KTM going for a lunge into the final corner. Mark's going to have the inside for turn 1. Is a little bit wide, has compromised their line through turn 2, but has still got a good exit. This KTM in front of us seems a little compromised. I think I missed my braking point there, just not being able to see it behind the KTM. Of course, being off the racing line too, it's a little bit damper, not as much grip, couldn't get the car slowed down. At least we didn't take the KTM out. And we can now try and push ahead. Welcome, Artie. Yeah, it is quite damp out here. Quite damp indeed. Of course, that little spin won't have done the tyres any good, and to be honest, I'm surprised it's only 4/10 of damage from that little tap. You can see one car going exploring in front. Very wide from this KTM. Just trying to straighten up the exit, get our exit. Took in for a little bit of slipstream.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
They tried to hold it around the brake lane, hold around the outside, but they were ended up backing off. So that's back up to 14th. And Phil, 7/10 gap as we come onto the Mistral. That's quite important. Such a kilometre long straight. Slipstream is very strong. Makes overtakes very easy. Looks like they might have a bit of damage though, so they lost a lot of time on the Mistral. KTM also opting for a wider line, has left themselves tight to the final corner. Still managed a decent exit. But have closed up. Dipping out of the slipstream just to get a bit more visibility into turn 1, make sure I can spot my braking point. Big slide from the KTM has ruined their momentum. I tried to get to the inside, but car slid around over a puddle. Just trying to get to the inside of the KTM. Then a big slide there, had to back off the throttle not to run into the back of them. But this should give us the momentum to get past. Now they're going to tuck into the slipstream. Hopefully we've got enough momentum just to gap them. Stay in front. Using all of the track through the right-hander. It's nearly sliding off the track. Got a yellow flag, the 107 has been spun. There it is. Looking to rejoin. That puts us back up to 12th, where we qualified. Let's see if we can get closer to P8, where we were before we had that little incident. Car pressure's still a little bit high, but nothing we can do about that now. Good run through turns 1 and 2. Can really take a lot of that inside curb, which you really don't need to in the dry. It's an easy flat out corner, but in the wet, just don't have the grip. You need to open up the corner as much as you can, and it is just surprising how much you can cut it. We're only about 3 seconds back from the cars ahead. They are only 4/10 separates the next two cars, so they could end up battling themselves, which would help us to close in. Looks like it's a three-way battle up ahead. Running a 201.6. Quite a bit quicker than a couple of the cars in that pack, but looks like the 780 also ran a 215. So it looks like they maybe had a bit of trouble at the start as well, are trying to make their way through the pack. A little out of position for their pace. A little bit deep through that right-hander. Leaves us tight for the left-hander. It doesn't matter if that 780 has pace. They've just picked up the first drive-through of the race for track limits. Very easily done around here, where you do have those track markers that you'll see on the outside left-hand side of this fast right-hander. I love that the Apexes don't have those markers, and thus it's very easy to just cut the track more than the game allows you. Like, you can see the one on the Apex there, but you'll see at T1 there isn't any on the Apex there, and oh, that was sketchy. Rear end just stepped away from me. Yeah, they got the final, the drive-through from the quick left-hander going onto the Mistral. Probably just trying to hold it flat through there and running out wide onto the track markers. But of course, we're only 12 minutes into the race. You have to pick up 4 warnings to get a drive-through. You know, so the question is, where did they pick up the 4 warnings? The apex of turn 1 is a possibility. As you can see, there's no track marker there, so it does leave it a little bit ambiguous as to where the limit is, especially when you're driving the car from the cockpit. Same with this right-hander here. No marker on the apex. You can pick up a warning for cutting that corner. Not to mention, of course, all the track markers you see elsewhere around the track, like this left-hander. Those 2 right there. I think the problem with those 2 coming onto the Mistral is if you run over them, they're an almost guarantee to give you a warning. If you play ACC, you'll know that if you slow down enough, you'll get a no-time gauge. You would have seen that when we had that spin earlier on. But in some places, the game is really harsh, and unless you lose like a second, the game will give you a warning. So even though, you lost like 3 tenths, and you're thinking, oh yeah, that's enough, the game will still cop you for the warning. It can feel really harsh and really unfair at times, but you only have to learn where those places are and just know to play it extra safe. The exit of Degner 1 at Suzuka is a common place. Another one of those places. Anyway, we're just slowly closing in on the 2 cars in front by 8 tenths that lap. Also noticed the number 8 Maserati, a few places up in P8 themselves, did a 204. I imagine that was just a scruffy lap. Maybe they were in a battle side by side with someone, but something to watch out for if that pace continues or where it settles at in the next few laps. another evil thing with that left-hander coming onto this Mistral straight, it's got a puddle right on the entry to it. Does get the car moving around, makes it very difficult to be precise through it. We're just going to be picking up a little bit of slipstream here from the KTM, just too far back to really be thinking of an overtake down the straight, but give it a couple of corners and we might just be there. You also notice the extra spray on the windscreen just from following. We're closing up to this Audi as well, so this is quickly going to become a three-way fight. A little tighter on the apex than the KTM. Try and get into the slipstream. Don't think we're quite close enough for a move this lap. Do scare the KTM into defense. They got good exit there through turn 2.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Good run into the Mistral. It might be too close because we have to pull out early, can't really pick up any slipstream. We're also on the outside, which isn't ideal. But maybe we can, for having the KTM offline, maybe we can. Oh, it was very close to contact there.
On the left.
We'll just hug a tighter line to make sure the KTM can't get back up the inside of us. Very close to making contact through the fast left-hander. Ultimately putting them on that tighter line. Just pushed them into the little mistake. Managed to get the cutback, get to the inside of the position. That number 8's back into the 2-minute ones, so unlikely that we'll be catching them. And won't need to worry about overtaking the 753. They've picked up a drive-through for track limits. So did someone else. It was the 158, but they're behind us, it seems. Wide moment for the 753 Audi. Yeah, that could be another warning for them there. Looks like they just clipped that little bollard, that little marker. Yeah, the 158's currently running at the tail end of the field. But this will promote us back up to P9. Maybe we'll be able to slip up an overtake anyway.
On the left.
Always nice to get the move done on track. Can argue that maybe they didn't defend it as much, knowing that they had that penalty, but it's still nice to get the overtake. And that gives us free air once more. Now, having seen 3 track limit drive-through penalties so far, does beg the question, who else might get one? We already know about the 158. They were the 3rd car to pick up the warning, or the penalty. And they are still yet to serve it. Luckily for us, we don't have any warnings. So we're not under any risk. We haven't even had a no time gained except for that spin. Do you see a couple of cars, the 850 and the 127, are fighting up ahead? Only 3/10 separating them two. Geeky saying go for fastest lap, and I don't think we're going to go for fastest lap of the race. We'll go for a personal best, obviously. We're good. Still trying to remain consistent. There is a chance we can catch up to this number 8. There's still 23 minutes left of the race. That is about 12 laps.
You're at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
You can see there we ran 1 second quicker than the number 8 that lap. So catching the 8 is possible. It seems like the number 8 does have pace, because we have seen them run a 2-minute 1 a little earlier in the race. But it doesn't seem like they have the consistency to do it lap after lap. That is what's going to allow us to catch them up. And maybe when we put a bit of pressure on, they might make a mistake that allows us to grab P8 back. Matching our delta for fastest lap as we come on to the Mistral. I never know what will happen between the 850 and the 127. You know, as they're battling each other, they might be taking more risks. Of course, there is always possibility of contact, though we never want to see that, of course. But as they're pushing each other, putting pressure on each other, they might just be pushing track limits as well. And that could lead to one of them getting a drive-through in the remainder of this race. That they're still running mid 2-minute 1s. We practically match our lap time from last time. Gaining us about 8/10 that lap on the number 8. little bit up on our delta this lap. About 3.3 seconds behind the Maserati. It seems like we mainly gain in the final sector. That seems to be our main point of closing in. Welcome, Blakey. Good to see you. I hope you enjoyed your GT7 stream earlier today. Finding a little bit more pace. The number 8 has got back into the 2-minute ones, gaining about 4/10 that lap. Yeah, I did see that. Which is... disappointing. Yeah, I won't get into it too much now. Losing a couple of tenths to the number 8 that lap, so number 8 picking up their pace once again. Maybe they were playing it safe to make sure they didn't get any track limit penalties, and now that we're closing in are starting to push on a bit. But if they're worried about track limits, you know, maybe we can just put that pressure on even at 3 seconds back. Maybe we will see that DT pop up. Of course, we have no idea how many warnings they're on. They could be on 3 warnings. That'd be their final warning. But we have no way of knowing. Do seem to be gaining a little bit of time this lap. on for a new personal best here.
Gaining on car heading sector 2.
Gaining over half a second that lap on the number 8. Still 14 minutes left of the race. Not too surprised at that. Did cut the curb quite a bit. Five, two, one behind us is going to drive through now. That 107 that spun earlier on in the race has been making a comeback. They're now going to be back up to P10. But being 15 seconds back, I highly doubt they'll be able to catch us in the remaining time. Wide there from the Maserati, out onto the blue paint. Maybe they are starting to feel the pressure. Gaining another 6/10 that lap. That might be a cut. It was quite tight on the inside. No, it looks like that was just okay. Car stepped out massively there, coming onto the Mistral. Lucky to just keep it within the track markers. I don't even think there is a number 12 car in this race. I don't see one on the mini-map. Losing a couple of attempts to the Maserati that lap. They've picked up the pace, trying to make up for their mistake in the previous lap. I will say, as this race is going on, the rear end's just getting a little bit looser. It's just moving around a little bit more. That might just allow the Maserati to hold on to their P8, but we'll keep pushing nevertheless, or nonetheless. Oh, 127. I'll be honest, the question mark at the end, I kind of put the 7 in the question mark together. I wouldn't say wheel spin geeky, it's just moving around a little bit more through the corners. Stepping out a little more. Being a little less predictable. Looks like we've closed on the Maserati a bit this lap. Maybe not, we've still lost the 10th. I thought the interval had to come down a couple of tenths. We are starting to run out of laps if we want to try and get past this number 8, but they have just been able to match our pace. Only 300 separating us to that lap. Just pushed the track limits a little bit more in that opening sector, find 3 tenths. Which, if we can keep it to the end of the lap, might just put the pressure back on the number 8, give them a little scare. Bit of a miracle lap that, just to gain nearly half a second. Lost a little bit of time in the final corner, but it's given us 3.5 tenths back on the Maserati. I bet you I'm unable to replicate that lap now for the rest of the race. We only have a few laps to go. 3 laps to be precise. Little deep through the right-hander. Wide of the apex there. You can see that's where we've made a good chunk of time up on that last lap. Yes, it doesn't work. Cheating doesn't work. So it looks like the fight for 6th place is getting a little bit closer to neck and neck going down the Mistral this lap. The 107 has now got themselves a drive-through. As I'm a little bit wide. Getting onto that paint. And losing a few tenths. That time the sort of gained on the last lap. We've just lost on that lap right there. With only 2 laps to go, it's not looking likely. But we'll keep trying. They could still be one warning away from a drive-through. Want to try and keep the pressure on that. Any mistake could let us through. Got a lap car here which either has a lot of damage or is just going slowly to the SL3, which would be very good, very well mannered. Yeah, not as good as getting an on-track pass, yeah, but it's their fault for getting the drive-through. If they've got the drive-through, then they've obviously deserved it. In which case, it's not that bad. It is all part of the game. I certainly wouldn't compare it to gaining a place, let's say the 850 in a last lap panic, took the 127 out. That would be a bad place to gain. That would be a nice way to gain a place. But through a drive-through? It's our own fault. There's drive-through for the 777, also behind us. They were set to gain a place on the 107, and they've thrown that away. The 25 has also got a track limit penalty. I think they're also behind us though. Five, two, one. Now as well, everyone getting a track limit penalty on the final lap of this race. Anyway, we weren't able to quite catch the number 8 Maserati in the end, but we give them best run for their money as we could. In the end, it will be P9, which, considering we were spun backwards 2 or 3 laps into the race, yeah, that's not bad. That's quite happy with that. Maybe could have been P6 had we not had that spin, but it was a fun comeback drive nevertheless. As there are the final results. You can see 4 people getting drive-throughs at the end of the race. The 158 and 780 had drive-throughs of themselves, so not getting a drive-through almost guaranteed you a top 10 finish this race. Which, when you put it that way, finishing 9th seems a little bit more disappointing, but we were finishing 9th on merit anyway, even before any drive-through penalties. It's not like, I think we didn't even gain I don't think we even gained positions from cars going through track limits. Yeah, we passed a car that had a DT, but we still got an on-track pass on them. So yeah, that was a good race. Welcome, Emmy. Sorry, but you've just missed the race. Yeah, I was a little bit worried after qualifying, to be honest. I thought I was a little bit worried of the pace, because it was a little bit of a gap. If you look back at the timetables, you know, I suppose it was only 4 to 6 tenths ahead of that group, behind that group. But we certainly seem to make that gap back up in race pace, which is always nice. I'm not too worried about the replay. Nothing in there that I'm sort of really wanting to look at. As is always, we are going to finish stream up with the Art of Rally. We'll get the daily and the weekly stages done today. Since that is just to get over and done with. Rest of the week should hopefully have stream tomorrow. After 3 Fridays off. Hopefully nothing comes up to disturb it. I need to... no. bring that up. Yeah, hopefully we'll have a stream tomorrow. Thank God it's race day with LSR. Then on Saturday we have the Riverside 200 being ran on the original Sao Corsa. That'll be about 7 p.m. as well, I think that's about. So 2 more evening streams for the rest of this week. On Monday we did last time we did the stage. We finished 53rd. 18.1 seconds off. Was a very close pack there. Just a couple of tenths either way would have been a few positions up and down. So let's see what today's event is. It is Group A at Sardinia. We've got a 3.7 mile hybrid surface, gravel and tarmac. But it's also a bit foggy out. Car a little bit unsettled over the jumps. Let's make our way through these S's. Good change of direction from the car. Two-wheeled moment there. Car can roll if you're not careful on the little sort of ridges that line the stage just on the side of the road. Nice transition into that square right. Good change of direction between the hairpins. Nearly hitting that high bale. As we come into the tarmac section now of the little village. Not quite getting the line right through that double left-hander. Now we transition back to the gravel for the remainder of the stage. Stage is going quite well so far. Only a couple of corners to go now. And that'll be a 2-minute 39.8 for the stage. 24th, top 10%. That's not too bad. I was actually expecting a little bit more. That stage felt really clean, but obviously wasn't that quick. We've got the two cats, Blakey and Artie, poking their heads out of boxes. Weekly event now. We checked the leaderboard for last week on Monday, but we've got 47th, top 5%. Hopefully we can repeat the same. We've still got Group A again. This time at Kenya, we're starting with a short stage, 2.7 miles in the rain. Blakey is really good at rally. Yes, really good. Oh, are you two sharing a box? Oh, that's nice. So kind of you, Blakey, to share your box with Artie. Very quick stage this. And there we are at the finish already. 1 minute 15.9. Very quick. Puts us 11th. Top 2%, only 3.6 seconds off. Thing is, with a stage like that, if it goes wrong, you lose a lot of time. It was the 127 that I tagged. Yeah, I thought it might have been that, Gigi. Because we never spun the 127. You know, the 127 continued on. They might have lost a little bit of time, but I don't think it really affected their race. Either way, we've had a fantastic start to this weekly event. Now it goes, this is where it goes downhill. We've set expectations high. And that's going to be the fall from grace. Bit of a longer stage this time, at least it has dried up. Gotta love Kenya and its blind, deceptive corners. There's another one. Just waiting to catch any victim out. Just by keeping out of that rock. There's the finish just across the water. Only a couple of corners to go. Or no, we're going the long way. Let's not run the car off the side of that little hill. Complete stage 3, 18.7. Fallen down to 12th. I'll take that. I thought we were going for let's go for a lot more. Now we have our service, which we don't really need. We didn't hit anything, but we will clean the car. And now we have a 3.5 mile stage in the fog. SMY to you to Blakey, whatever that means. That was close. You know, talking of WRC has actually got me really wanting to play WRC now. Last time I tried it on stream, it didn't work. But there's been a couple of updates since then, so oh dear. That was a crate. Sneaky crate on the apex. Put us into a roll, that's... Well, I can tell you this for free, we're not going to be 12th or 11th at the end of this stage. So that'll be a 218.7. Where does that drop us down to? 27th. Now 32 seconds off, or basically 33 off lead. Still in the top 5%, which is good. So now we're running the second stage back in the opposite direction. 5.8 mile stage as the sun starts to set. So let's see where we can improve upon from 27th. Could just gone two wheels. Decided to go for a roll. Might still be able to improve from... Well, it's unlikely, let's be honest now, with that second roll. I'll be a 327.6. We do improve. Back up to 26th, which is a little bit of a surprise, but considering we had two rolls, top 5%, 26th is very good so far. That's very good. We'll have to see where we end up by the end of the week. Check back next week. Still better than Blakey's. That's an oof. You know what? I am... Now that I've thought about it, I'm going to load up WRC and see how well this runs while I'm streaming.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Just realized I didn't change. Oh well, we can take that off. I've still got my wheel plugged in. Yeah, we'll try a stage or two, just to see how the game runs. It's only 8:30. Yes, I was watching Rally Sweden earlier before stream. New season has just started, so we've got a whole host of new moments to try out. Let's go with this one, Rally 3 car. Finish in 3rd position or higher in championship standings. Okay, interesting. That's a new one for moments. Lag. Yes, I can see skipped frames going up quite quickly. Will it settle back down? No, doesn't look like it. Yeah, that's gonna be a no. WRC still does not want to play ball, unfortunately, which is a shame. I really want to stream WRC. I love rallying at the moment. I'm just in so much love of it. I don't have a hard drive, Geeky. I only have an SSD, so I don't think that's the issue. Forza stream. I don't have Forza downloaded, so I don't. I do see, apparently, even though I've now closed WRC, OBS is telling me I'm still losing frames at a whopping rate. Looks like it's balanced out now. Yeah, it looks like it should have settled out now. That is odd. Maybe it just took OBS like 10 seconds to recover from WRC. It's just that demanding. It's a shame how sort of poorly WRC is optimized. Yeah, because I'd love to stream it. Rallying in WRC is so much fun. I'm looking forward to watching as much of Rally Sweden as I can this weekend. While I also continue editing the rally event. From nearly, well, it'll be a couple of weeks come Saturday, so I should better get that out. A6 gigs. I mean, I don't know how well it's. I'm no expert in how it's compressing. Yeah, I do have the recording on. That might help. Xbox at 78 gig. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. That's quite a difference. That's quite a difference between two platforms. But yeah, it's just a high performance. It's pretty optimized. I mean, that's been sort of the big thing of the game since it released, especially on PC. It's just can be stuttery, can be laggy at times. And then I think I did see some complaints of people trying to stream it that, yeah, it's just like OBS isn't happy with it, which is a shame. I mean, maybe if I turned down a load of settings, maybe I could get it to work, but I did try that a few months ago when I planned a WRC stream. I was like, yeah, this will be great, and then it just didn't work. I could barely even play the game, let alone stream it, which was a shame. So yes, radioactive grass. Haven't heard of that one. I've heard of the apparently Forza's brought back Rainbow Road. I think that's with the Nordschleife, since that released yesterday or Tuesday. Well done, Forza. Of course, it's kind of leaked. Okay. I was going to mention microtransactions. I was like, let me just check something. It seems like for those that don't know, there's something that just sort of got noticed today about Forza, that a link sort of showing 300,000 credits as a Steam thing. If you go onto the Steam store, you can't find it. It's not linked to Forza, but it exists apparently according to the Steam database website. Apparently, I'm reading it's not microtransactions. It's just something for them to have as for redeeming digital codes. So it's an item that they've set up so that they can give away on the digital storefront, but it isn't going to be microtransactions. That's apparently what it is. So, phew, sigh of relief, because I think everyone in the Forza community would have went mad had they brought out microtransactions after saying that they weren't going to. But yeah, Forza's still trying to dig themselves out of a hole, as far as I'm concerned. still got a little way to go, and but it is fair to say that progress is being made. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, like, once we're beyond like 2 years after release, if microtransactions came out then, I wouldn't be too surprised, to be honest. But like within what it came out, was it September or October? Forza came out, you know, it was like either way, it's like 6 months ago. You know, the game's not even half a year old. If they were bringing out microtransactions now, that'd be a real red flag. Like, you know, really after October. So that's about 5 months. That would be, you know, real. Or is that even 4 months? It's 4 or 5 months. But yeah, that, you know, say, oh yeah, we're not bringing microtransactions out. Yeah, FM geeky. Although I mean, I suppose you could say a lot of their marketing was quite their release marketing was quite full of lies, as it was. Hopefully, we'll actually get some new content soon. You know, rather than like tracks that were in like FM7 to begin with. The only thing that's really new has okay, there's technically been new cars. The only thing that's really new beyond track wise is the sort of new Yas Marina layout. Um, so yeah, hopefully we see some new tracks soon. That is very much on my wish list. Anyway, since we can't do WRC, I should get editing because I'm behind on editing. Um, uh, environmentally friendly they are. Uh, I mean, technically true. I mean, technically true because if they're not going, if they were to try and scan cars and tracks again, they'd have to be traveling to, you know, go to the tracks to find the cars. So technically, them recycling is being environmentally friendly. Even if it's not what anyone really wants. Oh well, what are we gonna do about it? Yes, as I was saying, we'll leave it for today. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. With thank God it's race day. What GP do I have? It is a 260, MSI 260 Nvidia. So it's getting a little outdated now. So it is getting a little outdated. But could be worse, to be fair. I did get this PC in early 2020. So it is about it's over 3 years old now. Yeah, 2060. Yeah, it is over 3 years old now. I am either I want to get upgrades for it this year or next year. Depends how finances work out. There are some other things like I do actually want to move away from the coffee table wheel stand and actually get a proper profile or tube rig. I also want to get like a custom desk for my room, just because like my second monitor is sitting on my PC. I'm using a storage box to set like my mouse and a couple of things on. And yeah, I could just do with having some desk space around me would be nice. Um, and then hey, maybe there'll be traveling this year too. That would be quite nice. So we'll see if there's room for it in the finances. What do you mean send me your setup? I mean, if you mean like a photo in DMs, it's like, yeah, I can't stop you. Um, yeah, yeah, go ahead, Kiki. Um, but yeah, there are a few things on my finance agenda, and PC upgrades, if it's not this year, it will sort of definitely be next year if possible. It'll sort of move up the priority list. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. As I've been saying though, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you, Geeky, Blakey, Artie, um, for being here most of the time. Also, thanks Emmy and Molly stepped in a little earlier on. Thank you all. And thank you to anyone else who may have been lurking during the stream. Oh, and Robot came earlier on too. Be back tomorrow. Some more racing. Hopefully we'll have a good GT3 race. I can't remember where it's at. We'll find out tomorrow. And then back on Saturday for the Riverside 200. Both those streams will be starting maybe about 7 o'clock, roughly. Maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later. I'll have to double check timings. But yes, thank you all for coming along. Hopefully we'll see you either tomorrow or Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your evenings and take care. Bye bye.